What a Royal Rumble!
Live, Kurt Ludlow, Shauna Parsons, meteorologist Rod Hill, and Tim Becker Sports. This is the 10 o'clock news.
Good evening. A small-town murder rocks the community of St. Helens, just 30 miles northwest of Portland. Early this morning, police found a 48-year-old woman shot to death in her own home.
Investigators won't say if burglars are to blame or if she died during a domestic dispute. KPTV's David Wilson has just returned from St. Helens and joins us from the newsroom with the details. Dave, what can you tell us?
Well, tonight, police are keeping many of the details surrounding this case to themselves, but we do know that 48-year-old Hong Ha Swigert was found shot to death around 3:30 this morning inside her home just south of St. Helens. Tonight, police won't rule out a burglary gone bad, but they also say the victim's husband is a suspect in the murder. Big city problems
I'm from Beaverton. We came down here to get away from this stuff.
find their way to the small community of St. Helens.
We have no problem with vandalism or nothing around here. You know, we had coyotes, but nothing else.
Now in a brand new subdivision, folks who moved from the city to get away from it all come face to face with the murder of a neighbor.
Very nice people. She's wonderful. He's great. Our kids adopt him as Nana and Papa.
According to police, 911 dispatchers took a call about 3:30 in the morning that 3 masked burglars had broke into this home on Rigdon Lane in Warren, just south of St. Helens. Friends of the family say the intruders demanded guns and money. They duct-taped 52-year-old Alan Gary Zwigert, a butcher at a local grocery. But when 48-year-old Hung Ha Zwigert made too much noise, they shot her.
It freaks me out a lot. I have 2 small children, and I really moved to Columbia City 3 years ago and then moved to this neighborhood because I wanted peacefulness and I wanted my kids safer. So it scares. It's very scary.
But police say there's no need to be frightened. Detectives seem less than convinced it was actually burglars who killed Hung Zwigert.
At this time, detectives do not believe there is cause for citizens to be alarmed. Detectives do not believe this homicide was a random act that should cause area residents to be at risk in their homes.
In fact, police have named 52-year-old Gary Zwigert as a suspect in the death of his wife. But at the same time, detectives will not claim the story of burglars is a lie.
You'll have to draw your own conclusions. That's the statement, and that's all we're going to release at this time.
To note, while has been named a suspect in this case, he has not been arrested nor charged with the death of his wife. Plus, police and neighbors both say the couple did not have a history of domestic violence. We hope to have more details about this case tomorrow, and we'll bring them to you as they come in.
KPTV's David Wilson, thanks.
Recovery teams have reached the remote side in Pakistan where a marine refueling tanker hit a mountain and exploded yesterday.
An Oregonian was among the 7 people killed. We'll have more on that in a moment. Also, the first 20 al-Qaeda prisoners are expected tomorrow at a U.S. naval base in Cuba. They left Afghanistan chained and hooded. U.S. warplanes have struck again at the huge cave, tunnel, and building complex used as an al-Qaeda training camp in eastern Afghanistan. In a visit to the Pentagon, President Bush signed a spending bill that devotes billions of dollars to improving the military and waging war on terrorism. The Pentagon says 24 U.S. Special Forces are now in the Philippines to help the government there deal with a Muslim rebel group. The troops are doing logistical and security planning for a larger force that could arrive within a week. And a Muslim-run financial firm in Switzerland, accused by the U.S. of helping fund Osama bin Laden's terrorist network, has gone into liquidation. Executives are blaming Washington for its fate. The reality of the war in Afghanistan is hitting home in Coos Bay, Oregon tonight. The community there mourning one of their own sons, Marine Lance Corporal Brian Bertrand, who was killed in that plane crash in Pakistan yesterday. KPTV's Jim Hyde reports.
Flags of mourning hang along the waterfront of Coos Bay. 23-year-old Brian Bertrand is remembered here as a star athlete and a stand-up young man.
They're very proud of their son and the choices he made and the commitment he made. They shared with me a letter last night that he wrote to say he had a chance to come back to the States about a month ago, and he said, as long as this is going on, I want to stay here.
Corporal Bertrand and 6 other Marines died when their KC-130 crashed into the side of a mountain Wednesday near an airfield in Pakistan. Recovery teams are in the early stages of the investigation at the steep crash site.
Even when I talked to Brian on the phone, I just had this feeling that I wasn't going to stand again. and I heard that the C-130 went down. And I know that's what Brian flies, and I know
Girlfriend Natasha Monroe in Seattle received the news from Brian's father. Bruce Bertrand coached his young son and still teaches social studies and coaches the JV basketball team at Marshfield. Head coach Mike George feels the pain of his friend and the loss of Brian. He played football and basketball here before graduating in 1997.
He led by example. I don't ever recall a situation where he didn't give 100% in anything he did, and that was not just in the basketball situation, but in everything outside of basketball.
I was a ball boy when he was on the football team and wore his number on the sidelines, and I always looked up to him. He was a really good guy.
Throughout Coos Bay, people are reminded of one of theirs who gave his life for his country. Principal Roebland speaks for the family.
I think they would like people to cherish their own children. You know, make sure to give them a hug today, because you never know what's going to happen.
People here at Marshfield High School will tell you Brian Bertrand was a role model, a real team player. Some of the highlights of his young life happened here in the gym and down below at the football field. Then he died playing a much more dangerous game, a Marine in Afghanistan. In Coos Bay, Jim Hyde, the 10 o'clock news.
Plans for a memorial service in Coos Bay will be made after we get more information from Marine commanders in Afghanistan.
Well, friends and family remember the life of another young man today, Marine Sergeant Nathan Chapman. Military officials and Chapman's family attended a service at Fort Lewis, Washington. The 31-year-old Chapman died last Friday while working in Afghanistan. At the service, Mrs. Chapman accepted the Purple Heart and Bronze Star on her husband's behalf. Their children received teddy bears from the military. Chapman's name has been engraved on a granite memorial recognizing all those who've died while in combat. Chapman is the first U.S. soldier to die in hostile fire since the fighting in Afghanistan began. Students from Portland State University are still upset about published comments from Oregon Senator Gordon Smith. They held a meeting tonight to talk about it. Senator Smith said there are groups in Oregon raising money for terrorists. The Oregonian reports Smith saying those places were the campuses of OSU and Portland State. Senator Smith invited a delegation of students and faculty to his office today to listen to their concerns. He gave them a letter explaining what had happened. That was good enough for some students, but not all.
I told him of students' concerns of safety on campus, and he was very responsive to that.
I don't see that as an apology. I see that as trying to create a sense that he apologized, but I don't see the word "I'm sorry" or "I apologize."
In the letter, Senator Smith said the misunderstanding happened during an interview with the Oregonian. He said he never suggested PSU had any knowledge of or participation in any wrongdoing.
The 5 Central Oregon teens accused of murdering one of their mothers watched their own videotape confessions in court. Defense lawyers for the teens are trying to have their statements to police suppressed. They argue the teens were coerced and didn't understand their rights. The group is charged with last year's murder of 52-year-old Barbara Thomas, mother of one of the suspected killers, Adam Thomas.
A former teacher is sentenced to 6 months in jail for having sex with a 17-year-old student. 43-year-old Charles Martin from Aloha will only have to serve 30 days in jail. After that, he may live in the Community Corrections Center, a work release facility. He also must undergo psychiatric counseling. Martin claims he was severely depressed and going through a midlife crisis when he began the relationship with the girl.
A Portland police officer critically injured by a suspected drunk driver is doing better tonight. 34-year-old Christopher Guzman has been upgraded to serious condition. He's recovering from severe facial and brain injuries as well as a broken leg. He's said to be sitting up and breathing on his own. Guzman's motorcycle was struck by a car driven by 21-year-old Linda Abels. She is out on bail after being charged with DUI and assault.
The Gresham Police Department is honoring its newest member and thanking the woman who made it all possible. This is Nico, a German Shepherd. He will work with Officer Don Gibson, a 6-year veteran of the department's canine program. Last year, one of the canines retired, and when Betty White heard the department might not be able to get another one because of budget cuts, she donated $20,000 so they could buy, equip, and train Nico. She also got to name him.
And when they asked me to name the dog, they said, make it short, but please don't call him Fluffy.
This is all fun and games for them. Part of the training process is just taking their natural abilities and drives and then making it fun for them. So that's why it works so well.
Nico has already helped officers track down a suspect. A cola controversy is brewing in the Portland area. 7-Up, RC, and A&W root beer, just to name a few, are now very hard to find.
Yeah, the exclusive distributor of these popular soft drinks fell on its can, so to speak, and filed for bankruptcy last month. KPTV's Chris Murphy joins us from Northeast Portland with more on this soda shortage. Chris?
Well, I'll tell you, Kurt and Shauna, good old supply and demand. This bottle of 7-Up cost me twice what it would have cost me just a month ago. That's from the Portland Bottling Company, the exclusive distributor of 7-Up and other popular colas. Well, that's when they went belly up. Now you won't be able to find 7-Up and other colas until someone comes in and takes over this business. The Uncola unavailable.
It's kind of sad. You know, we grow up on 7-Up. I always eat 7-Up and drink it with, you know, with meals, and sometimes, you know, in the summer we make 7-Up floats for the kids.
I was shocked when the doors shut. The Portland Bottling Company filed for bankruptcy last month. Annually, nearly 5 million cases of cola were made and distributed to 2,200 convenience stores and supermarkets in the area. Ed Brower worked for the Portland Bottling Company for 28 years.
If nobody takes over the Portland Bottling Company franchise rights from Cadbury, they will disappear.
That means you can kiss Sunkist goodbye, along with A&W Root Beer, Squirt, Seagram's Ginger Ale, Welch's Grape, Welch's Strawberry, and Verner's. You won't see RC either. Diet Right drinkers feel wronged. 7-Up drinkers are down.
I think they should, like, fly it in from somewhere. Just something to get it back, because I really like it.
At Lamb's Thriftway in Beaverton, this is what's left. A few 2-liter bottles of RC and 7-Up. A black hole consumes the space where RC cans once went.
All the half cases, 6-packs, no diet 7-Up has been available to us.
7-Up and RC are still available in restaurants and bars. Brower and Mike Gross bought that part of the beverage business. They only have 8 employees compared to the 150 people who worked across the street at the old Portland Bottling Company. But for some, not having 7-Up in the refrigerator at home is a major break with tradition.
I thought it was outlandish. I mean, 7-Up's been around forever. And it's great. Sprite does not come close to 7-Up. It's totally different.
And these are totally different times. Now that the Portland Bottling Company is gone after 78 years in business. Portland Bottling Company's inventory from their 5 other locations from around Oregon and Washington are all being shipped now to this building. Inside you'll find not only bottles and cans of the beverages, but also heavy equipment, Kurt and Shauna. And now this will either be sold to the open market, the bank now holds this, or someone's going to have to come in and buy this.
So, Chris, until some other company steps in, whatever's on the shelf is what's left, huh?
Whatever's on the shelf is what's left. At Lamb's Thriftway, there was about 6 of these 2 liters. You know, you can go over the river, though, the Columbia River to Vancouver, and find your 7-Up if you have to.
Aha.
Okay, a lot of people making that trip, I bet, coming up. Chris Murphy live tonight. Thank you, Chris. Coming up, a mummy mystery thousands of years old may finally have been solved right here in the U.S. We have the latest on a discovery that could wrap up an unanswered question about ancient Egypt.
Also, in the hands of the jury, both sides rest in the case of this father accused of beating another father to death at a junior hockey game. We'll have that story.
Plus, the Enron investigation moves forward. Could the White House have known about the impending demise of the power giant before they filed for bankruptcy? We'll have more on the investigation.
And I'm Monica Guzza in for Rod Hill this evening. Quiet weather with just a little bit of drizzle. We are expecting some rain, though. Find out about all of that in weather at 10:30. Describe Good Day Oregon? Sure.
It's 4 hours of live and local news, music, interviews, features that other morning shows just can't give you. Reporting the stories that affect you.
Giving you an aerial view of your morning commute.
Plus weather. And a whole lot of fun.
Good Day Oregon, weekday mornings from 5 to 9 on KPTV, Oregon's 12. Frontier's annual winter white sale is back. Low fares with no overnight or Saturday stay required. Buy your tickets by January 21st, fly by June 13th. But fares this low will go fast, so call today or book online and save another 10% on these fares.
The game is just a game. It's how you play that makes it fun, or frustrating, or dangerous. It's true for handball, and it's true for gambling. 3% of Oregonians have a gambling problem. When they play, it's more than a game, it's an obsession. If you can't stop playing and call 1-877-2-STOP-NOW or log on to OregonLotteryHelp.org. Treatment is free, confidential, and it works.
Meet the world's greatest sled dog team. Diesel, Scooper, Yodel, Sniff, Nana, and Demon. As they meet their new owner.
Okay, just like a jet ski with fur.
On January 18th, get ready for Mush Hour.
Dad, you really stepped in it this time.
Disney Snow Dogs. Rated PG. Starts Friday, January 18th at a theater near you.
Extra soggy, extra crispy, double squirted for extra gloppiness, double breaded for extra crunchiness, gooey, crunchy, knifeless, exciting, droopy. Lunch?
Get a 12-piece super bucket of crunchy on the outside, juicy on the inside, fresh hand-prepared KFC extra crispy chicken for only $9.99.
Now isn't crunchy better than droopy? There's fast food, and then there's KFC.
Chances are you're going to find something you like at our Men's Warehouse year-end sale, especially if you like saving money.
The Men's Warehouse year-end sale.
You're going to like the way you look. I guarantee it.
I will say things on the show that I wouldn't say to my best friend.
It is very unedited.
It's Good Day Live.
Weekdays at 10 on KPTV, Oregon's 12. You're watching the 10 o'clock news.
Welcome back. An online pharmacy is in trouble with the law, accused of selling anthrax drugs illegally. The company is in Florida.
Yeah, now the state of Florida and the state of Washington are taking that company to court, saying what the company is doing is deceptive and hazardous to your health. I-Team 12's Carrie Tomlinson is here to explain why. Carrie?
The site sells ciprofloxacin for anthrax, also Viagra for sexual dysfunction. It talks about confidentiality and discreetness. But investigators say they found the site is missing out on a very important part of the process in selling prescription drugs.
Yeah, I think I'll give it a try.
I-Team 12 asked producer Greg Hasser to check out pharmacies online.
And here it says safe, legal, confidential. But is it legal? I don't know.
This one, aprescribe.com, is now facing legal trouble. An investigator from the Washington Attorney General's office says he tried to buy ciprofloxacin through the site. The law says the site must have you consult with a doctor first. But the investigator says aprescribe.com sold him Cipro without any sort of examination whatsoever. The Attorney General says using Cipro the wrong way can make it ineffective, and using any prescription drug without a doctor's supervision can be deadly.
And they say they make every effort to maintain a high level of confidentiality.
Greg found many online pharmacies enticing him to buy. Viagra was a top seller.
That's good. They say their return address is generic.
But the Food and Drug Administration has some tips for online drug shoppers.
We'll prescribe Viagra to you by simply filling out a short confidential health questionnaire.
Don't rely on online questionnaires to give the full picture of your health history. Don't do business with a site that doesn't let you talk to a registered pharmacist to answer questions.
Side effects are rare.
The FDA says don't buy from foreign websites.
Oh, there's a picture of a doctor on their website, so I feel much better.
And steer clear of sites that talk about amazing results or conspiracies to suppress products.
We haven't heard back yet from aprescribe.com, but the bottom line is the attorneys general want doctors prescribing drugs to patients to talk to them, learn about their health history, see if they're taking any other drugs that might cause a bad reaction, also see if they have an underlying health problem that might need treatment rather than just treating a symptom. And they say this website, aprescribe.com, is putting people at risk by not doing that.
Yeah, and also they made the customer sign some sort of promise.
That's right. As part of this whole thing, the customer has to sign something or mark something saying that they will not hold the company liable. They will not sue the company. And the state of Florida says that's no good because it's wrong. It's too one-sided. It's a transaction that's too one-sided for the customer.
All right, Carrie, thank you. A criminal investigation is underway into the activities of Enron. That's the energy giant that declared bankruptcy last month. That investigation could be more difficult now because the company's auditor has announced a significant number of documents and computer records have been destroyed. And now we're learning about ties to the White House. There are reports Enron CEO Kenneth Lay asked the Bush administration for a bailout shortly before the collapse. Aides say last October, Lay telephoned Treasury Secretary Paul O'Neill and Commerce Secretary Don Evans, warning them that the nation's biggest marketer of electricity and natural gas could go bankrupt. He appealed for a government bailout, but aides say Evans and O'Neill turned Lay down without involving the president.
I have never discussed with Mr. Lay the financial problems of the company. The last time.
Now, throughout President Bush's political career, Enron has been one of his biggest campaign contributors. According to a nonpartisan research group, executives contributed hundreds of thousands of dollars to Mr. Bush's campaigns for president and Texas governor. Enron also contributed money to Democratic campaigns as well. Well, tonight we'd like your opinion. Do you think the White House should have warned Enron employees about the bankruptcy? That's our 12 Talkback online poll. Log on to Oregons12.tv and see results tomorrow on the 10 o'clock news.
U.S. Representative Darlene Hooley has been released from OHSU Hospital after receiving a pacemaker implant. She is 62 years old and was taken to the hospital on Tuesday when she became dizzy during a meeting over at Portland City Hall. Doctors discovered she had an irregular heartbeat and performed the procedure yesterday. She's now resting in her West Lynn home. This is her third term as a Republican representing Oregon's 5th congressional district.
Well, the Blazers returned to action in Miami tonight where they fell behind again.
Yeah, the Heat were up by 17 points at one point. This time the Blazers didn't roll over and die. Here's Tim Becker with our first look at the outcome.
Yeah, and you know, when Miami was up by 17, I mean, they're a horrible team. And I thought, oh, no, here we go again. Somebody had to roll over and die. Thank goodness for the Blazers, it was Miami. Some games you just got to win, gang, no matter what. Miami has the worst record in the NBA, just a second worst record in the NBA with just 8 wins. So when they grabbed that monstrous lead over Portland, the guys had to do something to avoid embarrassment, now didn't they? Mo Cheeks has been looking for answers all season. Didn't have any at first, though. Alonzo Mourning blowing past Chris Dudley, who made his first start at center for the season. A couple guys had 23-point games for the Blazers. Bonzi Wells was one of them. Hits the jumper in the first quarter at the other end. But Eddie Jones was the guy who hurt them in the first half. The reverse layup gave Miami a 15-point lead in just the second quarter. It was all Portland could do to stay in this thing. Look at Derek Anderson. Runs right out of his shoe, but then off his knees works the ball inside where Sean Kemp gets the ball up and keeps the Blazers' pulse going. But right before the break, Jones going to beat the buzzer for 3. He had 19 of his 25 in that half, and the Heat take a 55-44 lead to the locker room. Second half, Blazers outgun them 48-30, though. Rasheed Wallace gathering in the loose ball and then lets out one of those primal screams. He's the other man who had 23 for the Blazers, and Damon Stoudemire scores 14 points in the fourth quarter to spark the rally. That shot for an 83-79 lead. Damon finished with 20, and the Blazers hold off Miami to win at 92-85. The Heat, after shooting 67% for the first half, fall off to score just 30 points the rest of the way. Not a pretty win for the Blazers, but at this point, hey, they all look great, don't they? They're going to wrap up the 4-game road trip tomorrow night in Orlando. A win there. They'd come home 3-1 for the trip. They would have won, I think, 4 of their last 5. You know, and that's looking pretty good as they come home to play another game.
All right.
Thank
you.
Coming up, meteorologist Rod Hill joins us live from beautiful Lake Tahoe. I know, he's at a weather conference taking a look at future weather trends that could affect us here in the Northwest. That's just ahead.
Or so he says.
Yeah.
Plus, launching a new frontier in tourism right along with the first test of a commercial space rocket a bit later.
Also, they use them in animals, so why not humans? The latest idea in medicine, ID microchips for people. We have that story when the 10 o'clock news returns.
Quick! Memorize everything about this precise moment because you are going to want to remember exactly what you were doing when Pizza Hut announced the historic 99-cent pizza deal. Right now, when you buy any of these delicious large specialty pizzas, we'll give you an entire second medium pizza with one topping of your choice for only 99 cents. In the annals of history, has any other pizza company offered a deal this good? Everyone's going to want a piece of this. The historic 99-cent pizza deal from Pizza Hut. Right now, get an order of 5 breadsticks and a 2-liter for just $3 more.
It's a total and complete inventory liquidation event. Display models, demos, one-of-a-kinds, and closeouts. The January clearance, now at Standard TV and Appliance.
Sale prices on Mitsubishi, RCA, Xenon, KitchenAid, Whirlpool, GE, Maytag, and more.
Hurry to Standard for 6 months, no payments, no interest financing.
Get the biggest and best savings during the January clearance today at Standard TV and Appliance.
Get your motor running. Next time you go on a vacation, why rent a boring old compact car when you can hop on a hog instead? Details coming up on the 10 o'clock news.
my 21st century family. They're always on the phone, or online, or out and about, and it all adds up. That's why we got the total package from Quest. We get high-speed DSL, phone service with tons of features. Oh, and Mr. Wireless?
He gets a plan with 1,200 minutes, including long distance.
For only $99.89 a month, get the new total package from Quest.
Who knew the future would be so simple?
This weather report on the 10 o'clock news is brought to you by American Family Insurance. All your protection under one roof. Look in the white or yellow pages and call today.
All our kids are sports nuts. Michael and Brendan play football.
Maggie and John play basketball. Tom also coaches football.
With this many family members driving, we need to have a good auto insurance company. And we do. We have American Family.
Fantastic agent, fantastic service. It's a secure feeling because we're always on the go.
Thank goodness they drive themselves to practice.
All your protection under one roof.
American Family Insurance.
Hey, we just caught a goof that we made just a couple of minutes ago. We mentioned Oregon Representative Darlene Hooley, who we said had just gotten out of the hospital after having a pacemaker. We mistakenly called her a Republican. I'm sure she wouldn't like that. She is a Democrat, and we want to go on the record and correct that for her now. Well, you may already have one of those computer chips implanted in your pet dog, but can you imagine having one implanted in yourself?
Richard Seelig is kind of a guinea pig. He had 2 computer chips implanted in his body, one in his hip, the other in his arm. About the size of a freckle, it's called the VeriChip, and it could one day store vital information easily read by a scanner. So why would anyone want a chip implant? Well, Seelig was enticed after watching rescue efforts on September 11th.
Firemen and rescue workers were using magic markers to write their social security numbers and their names on their bodies. They wanted to be sure that there was some method of identification for their families.
Well, even before 9/11, Applied Digital Solutions, that's the company Seelig works for, had been developing the human chip as a way to store critical medical information. But this tiny chip could also be used in more controversial ways to identify people working in highly secure jobs, like at nuclear power plants, or identify prisoners or parolees. Well, some people go on vacation to forget about their work.
Yeah, but not meteorologist Rod Hill. He went on a little getaway to learn more at a weather conference. He joins us from lovely Lake Tahoe tonight. Rodney, how's it going?
Rod.
Hey, I can't see it, but nice to hear your voice. Have you guys been here before to Lake Tahoe?
No.
Never.
I mean, it is absolutely stunning. Skiing today in a sweater, it was 50 degrees.
Wait a minute.
The lake is beautiful. It's incredible. That was after...
Skiing? I thought you were at a weather conference.
After doing a good day Oregon shot and a long, exhausting day of weather meetings. I tell you what, though, you come to these seminars and they bring in speakers, the people at the forefront of doing research on matters such as global warming all across the world. It's really something you get a chance to hear these people speak. Just a couple of things to touch on. Global warming, which everybody shows a lot of interest in. Over the last 100 years, the planet only warming 1 degree, which is a lot less than a lot of reports that I have read in some of the journals coming out, that according to NOAA. And they predict we'll warm another 3.5 degrees Fahrenheit over the next 100 years. And what's kind of interesting about that is that could produce CO2 levels in our atmosphere the highest that we've seen since the dinosaur era, back about 400,000 years ago. Kind of interesting. El Nino, things pretty quiet out in the ocean right now. They're still looking for that to start picking up weekly. Saying about March, a weak El Nino to begin, then building into the summer. More on that, of course. And some bad news for us. The latest extended forecast for the rest of the winter, actually calling for the Pacific Northwest, the western half of Oregon and Washington, to be entering into a dry, warm trend. And remember, we've been talking about the possibility of being frightened about getting into drier weather since the beginning of January, so we'll be watching that. And, you know, severe weather is not something we deal with a lot in the Pacific Northwest, as you know, but remember back in 1988, the Weather Service unveiled their latest Doppler radar technology, and those were put out into the country. Well, anyway, those storms, look at storms, it takes them 6 minutes to scan a storm. Now they're going to be scanning in the coming years, doing all of that work in just 1 minute. So we'll be getting real-time information to you a lot sooner. So anyway, we'll be talking more about what went on here and some interesting information whenever I decide to come back to work and join you good folks.
Yeah, when is that? Do you know?
I have to be back to work on Monday. I'm going to stay into Saturday and enjoy some time.
Oh, tough life, Rodney.
We'll see you then.
Thanks. That computer he's talking about seems like it's going to mean even less work for him.
Yeah,
you know,
he can take more dance classes.
Yeah. Get those forecasts in a minute. What will there be left for him to do?
Not very much.
That's what I thought.
Fancy up his face.
But, you know, the drying trend that he's talking about, we're already beginning to see the effects of that. They've been talking about El Nino may possibly reappearing, which means dry weather for us. We're going to start seeing dry weather come Sunday, and it's going to last for a while. So he's...
Done with the rain now, huh?
Yeah, pretty much. Well, we still have a little bit on its way. In fact, kind of drizzly tonight. Why don't we take a look at conditions outside right now? And at this point, here in the Rose City, it is dry. We are still seeing a little bit of drizzle out along the coast, and we'll probably continue to see it through the night. 45 degrees. Dew point is 43. The barometer is steady right now, and the winds are the west-southwest at 6 miles per hour. Why don't we take a look at the northwest radar, and some showers moving through late afternoon, early evening, now beginning to dry out a little bit. So mostly cloudy for everyone today with just a little bit of rain here and there. In fact, here's our cloud rain forecast for the next 24 hours. And high pressure still hanging in there, but it's kind of dropped off to the south a little bit. And so we have showers really trying to move in just to the northern part of the state. So most of the rain is headed up into Washington. In fact, winter storm warning for the Cascades of Washington. As we go into tomorrow night, the high pressure ridge begins to move off to the east a little bit. Here comes a warm front. So clouds for us tomorrow, but I think we'll remain pretty much dry. Rain finally moving in tomorrow night well after sunset. So it'll rain overnight tomorrow night and into Saturday morning. But rainfall potential, look at this, not a lot. Most of the rain is going to be way up here off of the Washington coastline. In the southern portion of Washington state, 1/10 of an inch, and lesser amounts as we get into the state of Oregon. So very little for us. Astoria will probably see the most rain for the state. Here's a look at the Pacific satellite, and you can see the ridging here and this moisture attempting to work its way on shore. So all we've really been able to see is the clouds out of this. But here's the warm front, and it's slowly going to drape its way on shore, and so we will see a little bit of rain. Cold front way out here, and we'll probably see that move through as we go into Saturday morning. High temperatures today, cloudy for just about everyone out there. Look at this. So Eugene, 55, very, very warm. Also 50s out along the coast, almost 60 in North Bend, and temperatures in the 30s and 40s throughout eastern and southern Oregon. So not looking too bad, huh? Here's today's high temperatures, 53 in New York City with rain, and right along this line here, Kentucky and into the Virginias, heavy rain today, and even some thunderstorms turning to snow as we get up into the Great Lakes states. Big area of cool air dropping all the way down into northern Texas and throughout the Intermountain West, so very, very chilly temperatures and occasional snow showers in the Rocky Mountains. 48 degrees for a high in Seattle, Washington, and Anchorage, overcast skies and relatively warm, 43 degrees. Here's how things are looking along the coast tomorrow. North Bend, you should remain dry. Mostly cloudy skies for you. Into Newport, mostly cloudy skies, a chance for some morning drizzle. I would expect a little bit, but otherwise mostly cloudy. Small craft advisory, definitely showers for the Astoria area and for Tillamook because of the winds out of the east at 15 knots and not because of the wind, but because of the swells out of the west at 12 feet. Into the western valleys, here's how things look for us tomorrow. Mostly cloudy with some drizzle in the morning and rain developing overnight, but I think the day in the middle there, it should remain dry. Corvallis and Eugene, mostly cloudy skies. Eugene, you could remain socked in with some fog throughout much of the morning and into the early afternoon. Oregon Cascades, mostly cloudy skies. Snow level still at 7,000 feet, and a chance for some showers in the northern Oregon Cascades. Into Bend and Madras, overcast skies, 20% of chance of some rain. Burns and John Day. Whew, that was loud. It made me jump. Baker City, partly sunny skies. Low-lying areas will see some fog. The Dalles, 43 and mostly cloudy skies. Hood River, Cascade Locks, 45, mostly cloudy skies with just a small chance for a shower. Here we go. Drizzle in the morning, dry through the day, rain at night. Pretty easy. Why don't we take a look at the 7-day forecast, and here's how things are looking. Same setup. We'll see some continuing rain Saturday morning, and then on Sunday, mostly cloudy skies. And look at this. There's Rod's drying trend. This is what was making all that noise.
What happened?
My heart started to...
This is our technical device for adjusting the lights.
Very high-tech.
Very expensive. You can't get these just anywhere.
And for frightening
And I guess it fell over there. So we all jumped about 6 feet, so you weren't alone.
Monica.
Thanks.
No problem.
Well, business has been great for Oregon's oldest craft brewery.
Now, Bridgeport Brewing Company is almost finished expanding its Northwest Portland brewery. You'll be able to see them rolling in a huge new fermentation tank. Each one holds more than 4,900 gallons of beer. The expansion, which should be finished next month, will double the brewery's capacity from 50,000 to 100,000 barrels a year. Coming up, taking the long way to jail.
An armed robbery suspect's high-speed chase from the law comes to a crashing end. It's all caught on tape just ahead.
Plus, a close call for a military pilot when the 10 o'clock news returns.
0% financing has depleted Chevy inventories nationwide. But at Car Chevy World, we've got 8 city blocks with over 1,000 vehicles on site. And this weekend, during Car Chevy World's giant truck blowout, get our lowest prices ever. Plus, get 2002 cash back on every new Chevy. Like a 2002 Chevy Silverado half-ton pickup for just $13,995. The biggest selection of new Chevy trucks in the West. And 2002 cash back on every new Chevy. Hurry to Car Chevy World in Beaverton, where salaried salespeople see it your way.
Busy's is a great place to go on one of those busy nights when you're too tired to cook.
The salad bar is terrific.
Cucumbers, the red beans.
Always hit the salad bar first, and then I go from there.
Onions, tomatoes, the works.
Everything you get from the salad bar is healthy.
Cauliflower, broccoli, I could go on.
I'm not going to stick with just one flavor of pizza when I go to Izzy's.
We love the dessert bar. Izzy's is a wonderful place to bring kids.
A great selection at affordable price, and we eat here a lot because it is that.
He was one of the most powerful pharaohs in Egypt, missing for thousands of years. Now archaeologists think they may have found Ramses I. The story coming up.
He had it all until the unthinkable happened.
You didn't see it, did you?
See what?
What do you do when someone tells you they saw this in their backyard?
I saw something just like this. What he thought was an accident. What happened to my wife has become a warning. 99 will die. That only he can stop. I can stop this. The Mothman Prophecies. Rated PG-13. Opens everywhere January 25th.
How can you make unlimited wireless calls to home? How can you stay connected to family members on your plan without using up wireless minutes? Only Quest Wireless shared minute plans let you call home on your wireless phone without using plan minutes, plus make unlimited calls between plan members. Anything's possible when you have an advanced network and when the snow melts. Now 2 people can share 3,600 minutes for only $59.99 a month. Domestic wireless long distance included.
Style. Either you have it or you don't.
You could have any style you want at Wix. It's Wix Furniture's biggest sale of the year. Your choice of special purchase Sealy Posturepedic or Simmons Beauty Rest Queen mattress for just $299.98 and get the box spring free. Plus, put no money down with no monthly payments and no finance charges due for 1 year with a Wix charge. I know style when I see it.
Having a Wix bedroom makes you a real suave guy.
A Massachusetts jury will try again in the morning to decide the fate of a hockey dad who beat another father to death.
Jurors spent the afternoon considering the manslaughter charge against Thomas Junta before calling it a day. If they convict Junta of manslaughter, he could get 20 years in prison. In closing arguments today, his lawyer portrayed Junta as a gentle giant who was just trying to defend himself. But a prosecutor ridiculed that description, saying the 270-pound Junta pounded the smaller man's head into the mat.
I ask you, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, to look at the man who testified on that stand. I call him the gentle giant. You look at him, you put him beside someone else, you immediately go to him. He's guilty. You don't blame the person that's smaller or the person that's deceased.
Everybody has sympathy for both sides. We wouldn't be human if we didn't. It's hard to sit and listen to a 12-year-old boy testify on his father's behalf. It's hard to hear another little boy, best friends with that son, come in and testify. And you know what? It's also really hard to think of Michael Costin's children without a dad.
The defense also claims Junta only threw 3 punches in the fight, and those were in self-defense. The prosecution discounts the theory of Junta as the victim, saying he pummeled Michael Costin to death while their children watched in horror.
In other news across America tonight, a small plane crashed in Colorado, but the pilot and 2 passengers survived. The single-engine Cessna took off from Farmington and flew north about 60 miles before it crashed. Look at it there. The pilot hiked 6 hours before getting a cell phone signal. He used a cell phone to call for help, and a chopper picked him up. He wasn't hurt at all. The passengers suffered some broken bones, but they will all be okay.
An Air National Guard F-16C fighter jet has crashed in New Jersey. The pilot's okay. You see him here. He ejected. He was pulled to safety by the crew of a Coast Guard helicopter. He was then taken to a hospital with minor injuries. The jet crashed in a wooded area near a weapons training range. Debris did fall in a nearby parkway, but no one was hurt and no cars were damaged.
A suspect in an armed robbery led police on a high-speed chase through the streets of Fort Lauderdale and Hollywood, Florida. This fast-paced action came to a sudden halt, though, when a police officer slammed his cruiser into this stolen vehicle. The suspect then jumped out, and the vehicle tried to run away. Several officers surrounded him and took him into custody. I'm waiting for it to hit, but I guess we're not going to see it in a matter of minutes. The handcuffed guy was in the back of the police car. There we go. Well, he didn't slam it, but he sure didn't even pop the airbag. But they got him anyway. Yeah, he's not getting away.
Wow.
Look at that. They got him.
He sure tried, though, didn't he?
Yeah, not a good thing to do to run from the police like that. All right.
Coming up, traveling in style on your next vacation.
Yeah, why cram into a compact when you can zoom around on a hog? We'll tell you about the latest trend in airport rental vehicles just ahead.
Plus, unraveling a mummy mystery. Could a missing pharaoh's body be right here in the U.S.? We have that story when the 10 o'clock news returns.
The fate of one crew, a lie.
Voyager's presence in the Delta Quadrant is no accident. We've been the victim of an elaborate deception.
A loyal commander or the enemy.
The captain and Tuvok were involved in a Federation conspiracy.
The truth could lead to one final showdown on the next Star Trek Voyager.
Tonight at 11 on KPTV, Oregon's 12.
Frontier's annual winter white sale is back. Low fares with no overnight or Saturday stay required. Buy your tickets by January 21st, fly by June 13th. But fares this low will go fast, so call today or book online and save another 10% on these fares.
Right now, you can save an extra 20 to 50% off our everyday low prices. So you'll find something that not only fits you perfectly, but your wallet as well.
The Men's Warehouse year-end sale.
You're going to like the way you look. I guarantee it.
What is this?
Thanks to Quest Security Screen, this is what you hear when an unidentified telemarketer calls. This is what the telemarketer hears.
If you are a solicitor, please hang up now.
Quest Security Screen works with caller ID to help stop unidentified telemarketers before your phone even rings. Order Quest Security Screen today and get 30 days free. Quest, ride the light.
This is my killer DVD system.
This is my killer DVD rental section.
You have the hardware, Blockbuster has the software.
This week at Blockbuster, you'll find all the hottest new movies, and they're guaranteed to be there, even on DVD. Choose from great titles like Jeepers Creepers with Gina Phillips and The Fast and the Furious starring Vin Diesel. All the biggest movies, and you can find them at Blockbuster, guaranteed. Blockbuster, bringing entertainment home.
On Wall Street, the Dow dropped 26 to close at 10,067. The Nasdaq rose slightly to 2047. The 10 o'clock news continues in just a moment.
Don't spend my time being what I'm not. Just live my life with what I've got. Loving every minute of it, keep calling the shots. So yeah, right there, keep hitting the spot. True to myself, do it my own way. Don't give a second thought to what the others say. Totally focused when you see what you want, see what you get. Come on, we got the best yet. Just live your life.
Want more for less? Then you gotta get to DQ, where right now 99 cents gets you a mouth-watering DQ double burger, or get a peanut buster parfait, also just 99 cents. Got a buck? DQ something different.
0% financing has depleted Chevy inventories nationwide. But at Car Chevy World, we've got 8 city blocks with over 1,000 vehicles on site. And this weekend, during Car Chevy World's giant truck blowout, get our lowest prices ever. Plus, get 2002 cash back on every new Chevy. Like a 2002 Chevy Trailblazer, fully loaded 4x4 for just $22,995. The biggest selection of new Chevy trucks in the West. And 2002 cash back on every new Chevy. Hurry to Car Chevy World in Beaverton, where salaried salespeople see it your way.
Clean sweep. Clean sweep.
We've lowered the broom and are sweeping up the savings for you during the Clean Sweep Sale and Clearance at Emporium.
Clean sweep.
You'll find savings of an additional 30 and 50% off selected merchandise in every department. That's total savings of 45 to 75%. Clean Sweep is going on now. Hurry in and clean house only at Emporium.
Curators at a museum in Atlanta believe they may have the answer to one of the great mysteries surrounding Egyptian history.
A group of medical experts is using cutting-edge genetics research on a 3,000-year-old mummy that experts believe could be Ramses I. Sean Caleb's reports.
The Michael C. Carlos Museum at Emory University is basking in the glow of its prize acquisition, coffins decorated with elaborate hieroglyphics.
She's going to the final judgment, so the gods are ushering her in to the Hall of Judgment.
What they know is amazing, but what they don't know could turn out to be even more exciting. He doesn't look noble here, but some Egyptologists have speculated the leathery remains could be that of the long-missing Ramses I. Carlos curator Peter Lacavera says there are clues.
The arms are crossed over the shoulders, which until very late in Egyptian history was a posture reserved only for pharaohs.
This is one of a cache of mummies Emory purchased from a Canadian museum for $2 million. In an effort to make the leap from academic debate to scientific proof, the university is turning to DNA research specialist Dr. Doug Wallace.
Over time, DNA tends to degrade, and so over 3,000 years of degradation, there's relatively little DNA left.
Wallace wants to compare what DNA there is from this mummy to DNA from Ramses II and Seti I. Specifically, scientists want to examine the male or Y chromosome from Ramses' son and grandson. And it gets even more complicated. Scientists say the best chance of retrieving DNA will come from the mummy's teeth. If this is Ramses I, Emory will return him to Cairo. And if not, one of the great mysteries of Egyptian relics remains unanswered. In Atlanta, I'm Sean Calebs.
Well, tomb raiders made off with the remains of Ramses I several thousand years ago.
A company that's working hard to make space tourism a reality launched an experimental rocket today. Miles O'Brien followed the countdown.
Space has never been an easy place until now. This is the Easy Rocket, an airplane powered by a potent mix of liquid oxygen, alcohol, and high hopes. It won't go to space, but its creators believe it's the first step toward an out-of-this-world breakthrough, cheap, easy access to orbit.
Is easy access to space an idea whose time is coming?
I think so. Now, whether it's here or not, the only way to find out is to try.
It's a humble craft for such an audacious goal. Most of the dozen or so employees of X-Corps are refugees from companies that have gone bust, trying to do the same. But they are undaunted.
It'll take us a while to do that, but we've gotten to do this it took less than a year from concept to here it is working, and less than $500,000. Not bad.
Now, that is just the exact opposite of the NASA approach to things. Is this a better way to do it?
It's our way. This is the only way we can do it.
They toil in cluttered ad hoc quarters at the fabled Mojave Airport in California's high desert. In 1986, the first airplane to fly nonstop around the world without refueling, Voyager, lifted off from this place. The man who is at the controls, Dick Rutan, is X-Corps' test pilot, who has now logged a half-dozen flights.
It's pretty much of a standard airplane until you turn on the two switches that lights those two rocket chambers. Then you're along for the ride, and it's really good.
The Easy Rocket takes off and climbs in a hurry under rocket power for 2.5 minutes, and then when the fuel runs dry, glides in for an unpowered dead stick landing. The X-Corps team would like to fly their Easy Rocket frequently, perhaps 5 times in one day, to prove they have indeed found an easier way, and hopefully attract the $10 million they need to build their next generation vehicle, which they hope will fly supersonic, briefly, to the edge of space.
Maybe civilians can have access, civilians, non-government, non-multi-million-dollar space programs, that people can fly in space, civilians, and maybe do it with what they have in their garage, more or less.
That would be fun, wouldn't it? If you'd like to learn more about the Easy Rocket and the corporation that's making it, log on to our website, Oregons12.tv.
Well, for those of you who like to travel light, there's a new form of transportation waiting for you when you step off the plane in Palm Springs, Rent-A-Hog. It's the world's largest renter of Harley-Davidson motorcycles. Now, instead of renting a compact car or an SUV, you have another very cool option. All it takes to rent a hog is a valid motorcycle license with the minimum age of 21. Rentals are daily, weekly, monthly. So far, the owners say business is brisk, and they expect it to pick up once word gets out and the weather warms up.
So excited today when I saw this place in Palm Springs because we're planning to go to Joshua Tree. So it will be great just to be out in the desert and in a Harley, of course.
The rental includes 2 helmets. It's unlimited mileage. You can have goggles available, the gloves available, the jackets are available. It's all available with the rental of the motorcycle.
And the airports are happy with the addition of the motorcycle rentals. They say it'll bring another dimension to the airport.
A final look at the morning forecast is just ahead.
And in sports, the Ducks try to defend their home court winning streak against the Cal Bears. Tim Becker's in with the highlights when we come back.
Meet Ray's dad, Frank.
Loving father, wise and gentle, very caring and sentimental.
When was the last time that you said I love you to anybody?
What, do you live in a freaking fairyland?
What about that squirrel you ran over?
That squirrel wanted to die.
Weeknights at 6:30 on KPTV, Oregon's 12.
You cannot script this stuff. I fake more at home, if you know what I'm saying, and I think you do.
It's live. If it wasn't, we'd go back and fix all the screw-ups.
It's very raw, and sometimes that's good, and sometimes it's not.
I'm a backseat driver.
It's a dysfunctional group, folks. It really is.
Join Steve Edwards, Jillian Barbary, and Dorothy Lucy.
What makes us work as a team? I don't have a clue.
Good Day Live.
It's from news to nonsense.
Weekdays at 10 on KPTV, Oregon's 12.
What was that Passat commercial? The one with the fancy all-wheel drive thingy? What was the deal? If one wheel starts slipping, power gets taken away from it and sent to the other wheels. That'd be a good thing to have.
Just a reminder, the 4Motion all-wheel drive system from Volkswagen is only available from Volkswagen.
See what you're missing on AT&T Digital Cable and the HBO Max Pack. With a fresh new selection of up to 200 quality channels, you're sure to find what you love and love what you find. Include HBO and Cinemax, and you've got the best movies and shows going. From the biggest box office hits to the shows critics rave about. Call 1-800-CABLE-ME. Get free installation of Digital Gold with multiple channels of HBO and Cinemax. Less than $1.50 a day for the first 3 months. AT&T Digital Cable. TV at its best.
See you later, Dad.
See you, buddy.
I'm back. Hi, Dad.
The holidays may be over, but at Paul Schatz Furniture, the holiday savings are just beginning at our winter sale. If you put off buying furniture until the perfect time to save, this is it. Because right now, you'll find every piece of great designer furniture on sale. Furniture for every room. Furniture for every taste. But hurry, because winter won't last forever, and neither will the savings. That's the winter sale, going on now at Paul Schatz Furniture, your home.
Now sports with Tim Becker.
Old rivals, new financial realities. The Bay Area schools, Cal and Stanford, saved a little time and money by sharing a charter flight to Oregon, and they almost shared a winning experience against the Ducks and the Beavers tonight. Cal going right at the Ducks in Eugene. Joe Shipp jamming his way to 24 points, and they're tied at halftime, 30 apiece. Freddie Jones giving Oregon a 1-point lift on the alley-oop here with a little extra hang time to boot. Turnovers almost doomed the Ducks, though. Cal swipes it 11 times. Dennis Gates jamming that one. Bears build a 7-point lead with about 4 minutes to go, but Jones refusing to go down that easy. His rebound and three-point play keys a 10-0 Ducks run. Freddie J has 22 points. Luke Jackson's drive helps ice a 76-72 Oregon victory. They're now 4-1 in the Pac-10. It doesn't go down nearly as well for Richie McKay's Beavers, though. They make the coach a little angry, putting up little defense as 14th-ranked Stanford runs the classic three-man weave. Teo Johnson on the finish. Beavers rally to lead in the second half, though. Brandon Payton keeps it close on the baseline fade right there. But Stanford has too much working inside and out. Casey Jacobson bombs away behind the arc, and the Beavers have no answer for Chris Borchard. 17 points and 18 boards for the 7-footer. Stanford goes on to win big, 67-50. On the women's side, same deal. Beavers fall 91-54 to Stanford. The Ducks beat Cal 65-53. Behind 16 points from Shaquilla Williams. Other Pac-10 men's action, Arizona holds off Wazoo 92-85. The Huskies trounce Arizona State 81-68. And Southern Cal knocks off UCLA 81-77. High school hoops Sunset fans feeling good as their unbeaten Apollos ventured into Westview High tonight. Jamie Steck, who popped home a game-high 21, gives Sunset a 6-point lead at the half there. But the Wildcats would score the first 6 points of the third to take the lead. Eric Allen there drops in a short jumper, and it would go back and forth the rest of the way. Sunset down 3 late, 2 chances to tie it. Both shots are going to be off of the mark, though. Westview comes out victorious, 57-54. Major League Baseball is coming to Portland, if only for a day. Friday, March 29th to be exact. The Mariners and San Diego Padres have agreed to play an exhibition game at PGE Park. It's a 1:05 matinee. Tickets go on sale Saturday, January 26th. Brian Grant's Miami Heat had a second-half meltdown tonight, and that allowed the Blazers to rally from 17 down for their third win in 4 games. Rasheed Wallace, 23 points, and Damon Stoudemire adds 14 of his 20 in the fourth quarter, where Portland outscores them 27-14 on the way to a 92-85 victory. They're slowly gaining ground on the Phoenix Suns, who blow a late lead in Memphis tonight. The Grizzlies on the fast break ahead to Shane Battier for the slam as Memphis scores the final 13 points of the game. Rookie Pau Gasol had a game-high 31 for the Grizz, who make a loser of the Suns for the 5th straight game, 102-96. College football looks like Oregon State won't get a shot at revenge against Fresno State. Today, the Bulldogs pulled out of a 2-year contract with the Beavers, meaning they won't visit Reser Stadium September 21st. The change leaves OSU with 2 open home dates next fall. Finally, former Portland Winterhawk Marcel Hossa made his National Hockey League debut tonight. Hossa had himself a blast. A rocket shot beats Chris Osgood of the Islanders right there. Hossa's first NHL goal comes in his very first NHL game. His Montreal Canadiens won big 4-0. Hossa just got the call up yesterday from Quebec City of the American Hockey League. So another Hossa up in the NHL. Big brother Marion playing for Ottawa.
Boy, it's tough to just score once, let alone in your first ever NHL game, huh?
Yeah, well, I mean, isn't that terrific?
Good for him.
The guy's 20 years old.
It's wonderful.
Just coming up and tallying and turning on the red light.
Great career
Thanks,
starting. Thanks. All right, Monica, what do you got?
Tomorrow morning looks like we'll see some drizzle, just about exactly what we saw this morning. Clouds and drizzle, could be areas of fog too, so do look out for that. At 7 a.m. it'll be 42 degrees. Sunrise, we've gained a minute of daylight, 7:49 a.m. There you go.
Hey, we like that.
Yeah.
Thanks, Monica.
Thanks for joining us, everybody.
We'll see you tomorrow. Good night.
On the next VIP, Val's Canadian Mountie uncle drops in for a little help.
That's Irons family for you. We're regular danger magnets.
Mark Hamill guest stars.
Onward, go!
Next VIP.
Saturday at 5 on KPTV, Oregon's 12.
They were here.
Adrian Paul returns to television as the ultimate alien manhunter. His job is to hunt them down.
It ends here.
One by one.
So you're gonna let me go now, right?
No.
Adrian Paul is Tracker.
Saturday on KPTV, Oregon's 12.
The hunt is on.
Sydney!
More dangerous. More deadly.
You looking for me?
more delicious.
Smell great.
Tia Carrere is back.
She's a mad woman.
Is she dating anybody?
Relic Hunter.
Saturday on KPTV, Oregon's 12.
They are truly amazing. We know teens who've gone out of their way to help someone in need. Young people who go that extra mile to make a difference. And there are so many more out there, we just need a way to find them.
Nominate an outstanding teen making a difference in your community. Log on to Oregons12.tv or write to the address on your screen.
They have huge hearts and a desire to serve, and we think by telling their stories, we can encourage others to do the same.
Sometimes to find yourself, you have to go to extremes. Angela Bassett, Whoopi Goldberg. How Stella got her groove back.
Friday on KPTV, Oregon's 12.
On Coin TV.
They're here.
They're here? They're here.
The new 2002 entertainment books are here. They're filled with more great bargains than ever before, and they're valid now. Don't miss out. The sooner you get yours, the sooner you'll start saving. And every time you buy a book, you help support your community. Buy one for the home and one for the car. Support the One for the Community fundraising campaign by picking up an entertainment book today. For information on selling or where to buy the new 2002 entertainment books, call 570-2771.
Participating State Farm insurance agents, Sylvan Learning Centers, and Coin TV6 realize that a good teacher can make all the difference in the life of a child. Meet Chris Lehman of Concord Elementary in Milwaukee, our December Teacher of the Month.
I don't need an award to come here every day, I'll say that.
Kendra Soward's nominated Mr. Lehman because he's a funny, entertaining teacher who's also compassionate.
Congratulations, Mr. Lehman!
Brought to you by your participating State Farm agents, Sylvan Learning Centers, and Coin TV6.